Let's talk about Tuesdays. Everybody loves Tuesdays, right? Well, not this guy. Tuesday is my least favorite day of the week because it's my off day from the gym, and not only do I love to be in the gym, but I allow myself to sleep in a little bit on Tuesday, and that comes with a lot of guilt, quite frankly, and it shouldn't, but I convince myself that I could be up and doing things, editing videos or whatever, but my body is just like, dude, stay in bed for an extra hour, you need it, you're exhausted. As much as I try to tell myself that I don't need breaks and I don't get tired, sometimes I do, and I really have tried to get better at that. I know we live in this society where they're telling you grind 24/7, but sometimes you just need to take a step back. In addition to that, I just don't feel the same when I don't go to the gym in the morning. I just feel off. There's just something about me, and maybe it's because I don't drink coffee in the morning on Tuesdays, which we'll talk about later in the video, but it's just like something is missing from me. So I've been struggling with it, something I'm trying to get better at, but you don't need to feel bad about sleeping in or taking a day off from the gym. We all need to do it. We all need to relax. And I say that knowing that I'm going to wake up next Tuesday and have this same internal battle. I'm still going to struggle with it because I'm human, and that's okay.
I'll have a medium decaf iced coffee, please.
Let me explain. So as of last Tuesday, I'm no longer drinking caffeine on Tuesdays. 2 weeks strong, give me some credit here. I feel like if I don't go to the gym, what in the world do I need caffeine for? I mean, it sounds great. I would love to have some right now, especially because they don't have decaf cold brew. You can only get iced coffee. I know, first world problems. It's a beautiful day outside. I shouldn't need caffeine every day. I should just be naturally energized by the sunshine. I realize it just doesn't always work out like that, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. And you know, I think I'm gonna move on to like meatless Mondays. And before you know it, I'm gonna be just the world's biggest hippie. And you guys are gonna love it. I'm transforming over here. But there's been a lot of talk in my comment section about interviewing. I think a lot of you guys are going through that process right now, and I've been interviewing a lot of people, so I've been getting a lot of emails from you guys asking to critique your resumes and stuff like that. So that you know, that's what this channel is about, helping each other out. And I know how stressful of a process it can be, and it can be the most frustrating process ever. I get it, and you are not alone if that is how you're feeling. So I wanted to share this story with you that I think will help a lot of you guys out there. And as we move on to the video, I'm gonna add pieces of the story so I don't bore you all right now. But there's this guy I know that he struggled more than anyone with this whole interviewing thing, more than anyone that I had ever seen. And I think it started from a very young age. He had a slight speech impediment. It wasn't anything serious, but it was enough to, I guess, deter him from wanting to talk a lot. He couldn't even pronounce his last name because he had some speech issues going on, so he was a quiet kid. And you know, that doesn't help when it comes to public speaking or just when it comes to communication in general. You know, I hear a lot of questions from people about how you need to change your diet on days that you work out versus your off days, and do you need to cut your calories or cut your carbs back? To me, it really isn't that serious. I mean, you can, and I don't think it's gonna be detrimental as long as you don't go overboard. But the way I think about it is I need to recover from the previous workout and from my next workout. So if I went really low carb today because I didn't go to the gym, and then tomorrow I go hit legs, I'm probably gonna feel a little bit depleted. So you'll notice that I didn't eat a lot of carbs for my dinner, just some Brussels sprouts and some fruit. So maybe like 50 carbs total, whereas right before bed, I'm gonna load up with maybe 100 because I know I'm gonna be hitting legs in the morning. And that's just my approach. Like for lunch, for example, I don't eat a lot of carbs either because I'm just sitting at a desk. I tend to use carbs for energy and plan them before and after my workout, but I don't think the timing of it is really going to make or break you, especially if you're just an average Joe like myself. But getting back to my story. So the guy that I'm talking about, I hate to say it like this, he wasn't the smartest, right? He's still not, but he worked hard, but he wasn't a brainiac. He wasn't gonna break any records on the IQ test. And when he was in high school, his teachers would talk to his parents like, hey, you know, I know he wants to go to college and you want him to go to college, but he's really not the college type, right? But that didn't stop him. I think I'm gonna do a video on my thoughts about college because I spent a lot of time there. I was there for 4 years undergrad, 2 years master's, but I don't think it's for everyone, and I think it's a good option to not go for a lot of people. So put that one on the list. But I gotta get my house ready. I got another showing tomorrow. Someone's gonna come look at my house while I'm not here. It's gonna be weird. But I gotta get all this. What do you think that people think when they walk in here and see light boxes and tripods and microphones? And they're probably like, this dude is weird. But do you guys want to see the poverty brownie? I haven't showed it to you in a long time. You know I eat it every single day. Yeah, you want to see it. The only thing better than that poverty brownie is gonna be my coffee tomorrow. I am so excited. You know, guys, it really is just the little things. Guys, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I just saw this husband and wife walking around the neighborhood. Kudos to those two, man. That is making it happen. So, back to my story. This guy that I'm talking about, he ended up going to college, but he didn't get into like the most prestigious schools. You know, he applied for some places, got turned down, but ended up at a fairly, I guess, reputable school. I bet a lot of you guys have dealt with the same frustration when you apply for an entry-level job and they're like, you need experience. And you're like, how do you get experience for an entry-level job? Well, this guy had that same issue. He had always worked, but he had worked in a much different segment, a much different industry. He was more of a, I can never say this word, laborer, so manual labor, and then he was getting into something more technical. So there was a little bit of a disconnect there.
Sometimes all it takes is one single person to recognize your potential.
Hello, how are you doing today?
You guys already know how this works. Drop off the dry cleaning, head to Chick-fil-A, get the best thing on the menu, the grilled chicken sandwich, no tomatoes, add pickles, the market salad, and life is good, my friends. Back to the story, let's talk about what's really important here. And don't worry, we'll get to the good part, just stick with me. I think this is where most people either give up or they want to settle for less. But what this guy did really well is he kept the same standard this entire time. If nothing else, he actually raised the bar. So he wasn't going to lower his expectations based on what he knew he was capable of just because he went through rejection a few different times. And he ended up, as junior year of college, getting an internship with one of the biggest corporations in the United States of America, Fortune 500 company. And it was a great opportunity for him. And he knew that he had to go in and just crush it because he knew this was his opportunity, and he did. He went in, he worked extremely hard. And it was a few months later, I believe, after he got the position, he was working for a little bit, his boss pulled him into a conference room and told him, like, hey, I gave you this position and you had a lot less experience and a lot less credentials than a lot of other people that were applying, but you just seemed like you were willing to do the job. You seemed like you were willing to work hard. So I gave you a chance. And I think that's really cool because that guy, he's not the only one that's gonna happen to. If you're in that same position, eventually somebody is gonna give you a chance. Guys, I am so excited for Brussels sprouts. Eggs and Brussels sprouts, very exciting, but this is not just any Brussels sprouts. As you guys know, the best Brussels sprouts of all time, honey sriracha from Whole Foods. As you can tell, I'm out of Icon meals, but I should get a shipment in tomorrow, so my life will become much easier. But what I really like about the concept of getting a chance is that it doesn't just apply to jobs. It doesn't just apply to when you're interviewing. Maybe you're the kid on the bench and you're eventually gonna get a chance to get in the game, or maybe you're gonna get a chance with that guy or girl. I mean, eventually, if you keep at it, persistence is gonna be key here. If you guys have never read the book Grit, I would highly recommend it. But you will get a chance. And that's what's cool at anything. It can be applied to any situation you can think of. And one thing you'll notice is after you get that first chance, that's the hardest one, and then the next one's a little bit easier, and the one after that's even easier. It has this compounding effect, right? So he went to the internship, he did well. They actually asked him to stay on full time, but he was pretty set on going to get his master's, which was gonna be about 2 hours away, so obviously couldn't really swing that, so he decided to move, finish up his education. How about that, after being told he couldn't even get an undergrad, and then went to get his master's, and he went through that same process, gonna go through graduation, had to find another job, and struggled a little bit, not to the same degree as his undergrad, but it went through quite a few interviews before finally finding a company that he really liked, that liked him, and landed another internship. Now, I know that these types of videos are not gonna do very well. I get it, but in my opinion, this is what you really need to know. This is the kind of stuff that's gonna add value to your life down the line. Not me eating a hamburger or making some junk boy, you know, but I get it. It's entertainment and I understand. But I just feel like sharing some of these messages are gonna do a lot more for you guys, and honestly, I enjoy it more as well. But anyway, back to my story. So he went on to that second internship and he knew exactly what he had to do. He had to go in, work hard, and also get outside of his comfort zone a little bit, talk to people, open up, and he was pretty successful at it. So he went through the internship. They offered him a full-time position after he graduated. He went back as a staff, in a few years got promoted to a senior level position, and that's where he's at today. So pretty cool story, right? And I know that you guys are dying to see another poverty brownie, but I feel like let's not get away from the meaning of this video. We're almost finished. I think seeing this from both sides is really impactful, because once you're given a chance, and you will be, it's inevitable, it's just a matter of time, you'll be able to give someone else a chance. You'll be able to identify someone that you think has potential, and they'll be in your exact same situation, and you'll be able to provide them with a similar kind of opportunity that was provided to you. And just to finish up the story here, after the whole working thing and got that situated, this guy decided to start up a YouTube channel. He's a very, very strange guy. And again, one person gave him a chance, and then another person, and after time, over 90,000 people gave this guy a chance. Not because he deserved it, but because they, for whatever reason, felt compelled to just give him a few minutes of their time. And that's pretty incredible.
And I remember after he completed his test, I was sat down and told, you know, he's just not our kind of kid. I heard from many a teacher, yes, Travis is average. Maybe Mrs. Stewart, you expect a little bit too much. You know, maybe he's not quite college material. I'm proud to stand here and say my son now is a sophomore in college, on the dean's list, finished winter quarter with a 4.0. The point of the story is that it's true. My son is average. He's an average student. But as I saw him struggle and as I tried to encourage him and let him know it's not always IQ, it's about how hard you work, how dedicated you are, what you're willing to give, and having belief in yourself, not letting others define who you are will make you successful.